Hello and welcome to episode 2.0 of Permanent Temporary Fix, where we teach you to fix things once and then fix them again a little later. So you're going to call from your dad because your van don't start. It makes this sound when you go to start it. That indicates, I don't know if you can hear the grinding, it indicates that the starter is spinning, but it's probably not pushing out and engaging the flywheel and starting the entire engine. So you gotta get dirty and get underneath there and take it out. Show you how to do that. So today we'll be working on a 1970s van, Ford van, and the first thing you want to do is remove your negative cable when working with anything regarding that might have power going to it. So we'll do that, and this was hardly even put on there. Pull it off myself. All right, and there we go. Now you can get to work on your start. It's a beautiful sunny day. What better time to spend it than underneath a van surrounded by weeds, dog shit, and dirt. All right, starter. There's the starter, and right there is your rusty bolts that's been on there since 1974 and was originally put on by Thor, I'm sure. You just got to get your, there should be two bolts. There should be one right here and one on the other side, conveniently located so you can't see it. And then there'll be that right there. On the other side there's going to be a bolt. You just take this off, remove it. This is what supplies power to the starter itself. Well, I'll fight with this bolt and get back to you. When using when you have a hard time, it's best to get like a breaker bar, big old bar like this, and you have more leverage. It's also very important when you're working underneath an old van to make sure you don't wear eyeglasses. That way you get as much rust and dirt and oil in your eyes and in your mouth as possible. It's for the full old fucking car experience, and we broke it free. All right, nice little intimate angle. When working in tight spaces like this, I'd recommend this tool made by Stanley. I got it at Walmart, about 20 bucks. You just rotate the back end. The whole thing spins, and all you gotta do is this, back and forth. Because in tight spaces, you're gonna be bumping into things, and you're not really gonna have much room. You're only gonna get a few clicks for every, movement that you make. You just need to rotate this back end of it, because there's not much room to do this. Back and forth like that, and the whole thing starts to unscrew. Great. There we go. I just broke that bolt free. There we go. Now with our bolts off, I've turned the starter around so I can get to the nut here that's supplying power to the starter. Now with that removed, the starter should be capable of coming out. You gotta contort it a bit, but you'll get it out of there. All right, now that we're free from the underneath of that death trap van, I got the starter here on the ground. Now what I think's going on here is, if you hear that type sound or just a single click, you got one or two things going on. If it's just a single click, then this starter is shooting out. This will come out, engage that flywheel. There's teeth on the flywheel like cogs on a like these cogs, and it should spin. If you just have one tick, it's just shooting out and it's not spinning. If you just hear the, as in our case here, it's not shooting out and it's just spinning, and it's not grabbing all the teeth. It's just hitting the very edges, which is not enough to twist the whole flywheel and start the engine. So what now? Well, I assume you plan on getting a new one. Might as well, while you're going to your local parts store, take the old starter with you. You need to trade it in for a core, which will save you some money and a trip. Have them test it. Most of these places will test it for free, and that'll confirm whether it is your starter or not. And there's nothing worse than just throwing new parts at your vehicle and putting it in there, finding it doesn't work, and you can't take the part back because you've already installed it. So we're going to the parts store. So we're back from the auto store. Tested the starter. Sure enough, it failed every test. So the starter's bad. Got us a new one here. See, there we go. Comes with instructions. Putting it back in is just the opposite of taking it out. So it's just going to be 2 bolts. Connect your cable and once again, keep your tools handy in the dirt at all times. Before you get this up here, go ahead and bust this nut loose. Go ahead and take it out, actually. So that way, when you're already in there, you're not having to fiddle with it with no room. Man, that's really on there. When you go to put the starter in, make sure that this the part with the opening is positioned so it goes up and meets, you can't see it, that open portion. You want the gears to match up with the flywheel. This, I don't know if you can, it's gonna go right there. The bolt that we took out is gonna put it on there. Here's the top one. I'm sure you should find, there's proper torque specs. My torque spec is just tight, but there's a right and a wrong. That's wrong, which is probably why things are temporarily fixed. Now for your power, it's gonna go in that little thing I pointed out earlier. Alright, she's tight. She's on there. Now the last one. I don't know how you expect to get a torque wrench in here. There's no room. So you torque it down. Give the top one more check. And you're done. Almost. Out. Oh, freedom. Yeah. Make sure you connect your negative cable. Tighten it down, and now you see if you wasted your time. Alright, so that's how you do a starter. All in all, it's really not that bad. It's really should be about 2 bolts, a third including the wire. $50 later, some moment of your time. You can do this. You don't need to pay somebody to do that. This concludes episode 2.0 of Permanent Temporary Fix.